Fantastic. Welcome everybody to the 40K to 400K formula workshop. This is hosted by the team at Insightful and eCommerce Circle. This is where we show e-commerce founders how to grow from doing 400K years to doing 400K months. This is for brands anywhere from getting started to already doing hundreds of thousands a month. Everything we teach here is to get you up to that 400, 500K a month mark. 3 must-dos. Well, 3 things we like you to do when you're here live on the call to get the most out of today's workshop. This is going to run for about an hour. We're going to try and keep it tight to about 60 minutes. If you're here, we'd love you to show up. We'd love you to concentrate, focus on what we're teaching here today so that you get the most out of the session. We do like you to be seen. As I mentioned, it's lovely to see your lovely faces. This will be an interactive call. It won't just be us speaking at you. So we like to see your faces. So if you're here, we love to have a camera on, but you can mute yourself if that's, unless we sort of bring you up to engage, you can mute yourself, but please have your cameras on so we can see you all. And as I said, this will be interactive. So we will be prompting in the chat and asking questions. So the chat is the place to go and jump in and respond, and feel free to ask questions, comments, anything as we go, and be responsive to Chris and Paul, and everyone will be dropping some comments and links and things in the chat. So that's the place to go and engage with us throughout the call. If you're in the Shopify Australia group, as we just confirmed, we're streaming live in there, and you see this live stream, jump in there and put hashtag ecom, put hashtag Paul Warren, hashtag something, just a comment, throw a comment on that post, helps us with engagement, and people that comment and share these out. We give away some free courses. We've got the Crow conversion, the brain course. We'll give away some of those to a few people that tag and share inside of the group. Goals for today is a 3-fold goal. We'd like you to leave today with knowing how to actually convert more browsers coming to your Shopify websites into buyers, right? A lot of what we talk about on our calls, in our groups, inside our communities is conversion and conversion rate optimization. We like conversion optimization because it's the easiest way to increase sales, right? If you're already paying to get customers to your website, if you've got really good organic going and people are visiting your store, if you can increase them from having 1% convert to having 4% convert, you don't need to spend any more money to 4x your business, right? So that's why we talk a lot about conversion. A lot about what we focus on is making sure that your site's converting before you do a lot of the other things that a lot of other people will tell you to do. Second part to this, once your store's converting, we'll talk about how to nail paid ads and some of the hidden things about paid ads and what makes paid ads work that a lot of coaches don't teach. Potentially, if you're working with an agency already, we'll look at some reasons why your agency isn't able to get results for you. And we'll show some case studies of clients inside of the ecom circle that are 3xing, 4xing, 5xing, 11xing in some cases they're ROAS. And ultimately, this is all going to boil down to a roadmap, a pathway to profit, what we call the fast path plan. And this is how to take everything that we teach you, put it onto a roadmap so that you know the next step you need to take for your specific business. This is going to be an actionable growth strategy that will help you go, okay, I know there's all these 400 things I could be doing in my business, but these are the 3 things that I need to do in the next 90 days that are the biggest levers that I can pull to drive my business forward. Big question we get on these calls is, will this work for me, right? And there's kind of a few flavors of this question. Version 1 of this is, will it work in my niche? And essentially, yes, if it's ecom, if it's Shopify, the strategies, the tactics, the techniques we're going to teach you today will work for you. Inside of our eCommerce Circle programs, we have people from all sorts of niches, except for candles. We've got dog people, we've got baby people, we've got clothing, we've got caravanning, we've got outdoors, we've got indoors, we've got all sorts of people. So if it's an e-commerce business, these strategies will work. Second flavor of this is, will it work at my size? Short answer, yes. The same principles that we're going to teach you work for businesses at 10K a month, 40K a month, 400K a month. They're just different levels of the same thing, right? It's applying these strategies at different levels, but the principles are principles for a reason because they can be applied to any ecom business. And third flavor of this is, will it work now in 2025? Short answer again, yes, the strategies that we're teaching will work right now. These aren't drop shipping strategies that worked in 2017 before everybody joined the internet and e-commerce got more complicated. These are things that we're working on every single day with clients in the trenches, inside of Meta Ads accounts, inside of Google accounts, inside of Shopify stores. So these strategies are things that are working right now today. So who's this call for? It's for everybody who's joined us here. But ultimately, there's sort of three types of people that this is going to be the most beneficial for. First type of person is somebody that's passionate. And these are the business owners that we love to work with, right? You've got a great product. It's not something that's it's not rubbish that's going to end up in the bin in 5 minutes. Great product. You're passionate about what you do. You're trying to make an impact in the world. You're trying to do the right things, but you just don't have that clear-cut plan of what the next thing you need to do is. You kind of know all the stuff you can do, as I said before. You know that with the right moves, you could make this business absolutely crush, but you're just not sure what those things are. Number two, a lot of the people we see, e-commerce store owners, are overwhelmed, right? They've done courses, they've worked with agencies, they've watched every YouTube channel, they're getting conflicting advice from all these different sources, and it just ends up in overwhelm. They stop moving, they get into analysis paralysis and don't move forward because there's just too much information. We call this infobesity, right? You've just consumed so much information that you can't see a clear path out of it. So what we teach you here will give you that step-by-step next best thing for you to do so you can avoid being overwhelmed. And obviously, you're all in business, right? You're here to make money. We like to work with people that want to make money. And we want you to make the money. We don't want you to keep making money and just paying the ATO or paying your suppliers or paying your drop shippers, right? We want to give you a financial model that means that you, as the owner, your family, whatever you're building for, gets paid out of your business. So if that's you, welcome. You are in the right place. So why should you listen to this fella? Do you want to pick this up, Mr. Warren? Or do you want me to...
I'm still laughing at how old is Santa from Mike's comment there. So I'll try and get started from here though. So again, thanks guys for jumping on. So why should you listen to me? I started Walk On back in 1996 from mum and dad's garage. Overtook their entire house, run that business to like 2014 and sold it to a public company. Everything that I teach is stuff that I have done myself. It's still working now. It's still going to be working in the future. I don't teach fads and all that kind of thing. It's really important that I teach what I do and I still do what I'm teaching these days. So at the moment, I'm the founder and CEO of Insightful. I started Insightful in 2014. We now build about 100 Shopify sites a year via Insightful. It's run by my wife, Emma, and the rest of our team there. We've got about 17, 18 people there. I also run the Ecom Circle that Chris mentioned. So founder and CEO, co-founder, I should say. Sorry, Chris and I started it together. He likes to remind me about that. We started that about 2 years ago. There's 150 or something, 200 brands in there at the moment, all sorts of different sizes, largely family founded brands. So husband and wife, mum and daughter, all that kind of thing in the community. Next slide, Chris. I can't control your screen. So I've been at this for a very long time. I still like to think I'm pretty young, but I have been at this for ages. So I've built heaps and heaps of brands in just about every industry that you can imagine, probably even in the candle industry, Chris, that you spoke about before. I like to think that I've mastered the art of hiring and managing teams and building high-performing teams and working with agencies and freelancers and finding amazing talent like Mike, like Lockie, like the rest of these are only a small sample of our crew. I pride myself on breaking down really complex stuff and making it really simple to anybody, for anybody to understand. Next slide, Chris. And again, like I said already, the same stuff that I've been doing for a very, very, very long time now is the same stuff that we're teaching now, but it's just getting better, month on month, week on week. And it's the reason so many of our brands are doing so exceptionally well inside of the e-commerce circle. Next one, Chris. Cool. So this is Chris and Sarah. shout out to Sarah as well. It's her birthday today. So for those of you that are here live, like, everyone clap. This amazing couple, we're friends with these guys, got a beautiful daughter. We met them probably 14 months or so ago, I would say, Chris and Chris.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
Um, they had purchased the Toy Box Hale business. They had a tiny little retail store down in Hampton in Victoria. So if anybody knows Hampton, beautiful part of Melbourne. They have now recently moved to the Click Collective building in
Rabbit.
Moorabbin, I think it is.
Yeah.
Their location now is probably about, oh God, I don't know, what is it, like 6 or 7 times bigger or something.
At least that. Yeah.
They had $1 million year last year, but I think the biggest takeaway and the most important thing that they both said to me last year was the fact that they now have a really good ecom business. They had a great team running everything, people doing stuff for them, but they had a business now where they could actually go and take Christmas off and spend time with Elsie. So a lot of people don't get that in e-commerce. They're just grinding away all the time, building their businesses, not seeing their family, like at the end of the day, what's the point, right? So as much as it's nice to go, hey, like huge revenue, great business, great store, great brand strategy, great everything else, like that stuff is what matters most. Next one, Chris. Alrighty, so we do have obviously it's not that unhidden given it's on a slide, but here's our unhidden agenda for today. So we do this because we're always looking for our next success stories. Again, we're teach and do guys. We teach what we do and we do what we teach. My mission and everybody's mission inside of the circle is exactly the same. We just want to help as many people as we can build great ecom brands, and we do these things to give you guys incredible value so that even if you do end up, watching this whole workshop and then leaving, you get some really good actionable stuff that you can take away with you. I do have something though at the end of the workshop. I will, make you guys some amazing offer to come and work with us. So if that's okay, just chuck a yes in the chat box for me below. I'm mindful there's already a few people that are working for us anyway, but for the new people, again, just, chuck a yes if that's okay. All right, next one, Chris. Cool. So quickly, I'll get you to answer in the chat box again for me, just where you guys are at with your journey at the moment. So if you're at startup phase, 10 to 0, chuck that in. If you're at the setup phase, 10 to 25K, chuck that in there. If you're up grow up, if you're up scale up, and so forth. If for some reason you're doing $1 million or $2 million a month or something, just put a ninja emoji in there or something, and we will take
We'll
note.
let you run the rest of the call.
So maybe not. All right. Next one. Cool. So this is Narelle and Landon, also amazing couple. When did we meet Narelle and Landon? Would have been
16 months ago.
Yeah, 16 months ago. So Narelle and Landon actually live in the bus and they live off grid and they run an off grid business. So they don't have a warehouse, they don't have a shop, they rarely see their products, but you can see the kind of numbers that they're doing on their screen on the dashboard there. So came to Landon, he was super stressed at the time, and I think he came to one of these back when these were even worse than they are now. But he's like, oh, look, clearly you know what you're talking about, and can we have a chat? Had a chat, and I'm like, dude, like it's not going great, obviously. So jumped in, helped them sort out a lot of the stuff that was going on, turn the business around. They're still in the bus, still driving around, still traveling, still doing what they're doing, but making a lot more money, got some amazing processes and systems and great website and everything else going now for them, and kicking some big goals as well. So really proud of like where Narelle and Landon have actually come from, especially given what they do. Like running an ecom business of their nature and, never seeing your stock is like, an impressive feat for these guys.
Yeah. I mean, and for context, they were doing what, 20, 30K a month, and they're now, I think they did 200, 250, over Black Friday last year.
Yeah,
So like considerable growth, right?
Whilst again, so I mean, it's important to picture this. Whilst you've got your kids in the bus and he's driving around,
Living their dream
doing
life.
his thing, living their dream at the beach, I mean, not selling the, hey, let's go get Lambos and all that kind of thing, but living quite a unique life and doing big numbers and making good money. So, all right. Cool. So how do we get those results? Is it luck? Is it magic? Is it a system? Yes, it is a system. And we're going to jump over to this thing that Chris will probably tell you he invented. I'm okay with that. But here's the more orders model, basically. So does anyone have any ideas about what the more orders model may be, given there's 3 sides to it and there's 3 question marks and it's a simple. if you have seen this like 97 times before, maybe don't answer, but for the newbies, um, let's have a guess. What is the left side?
These are the three things that every e-commerce business we meet has broken or not at 100%. So these are the three key levers in any e-com business that are always broken, that can always use work before we go and do anything else.
What answers have we got so far? I'm gonna ask Martina because I haven't seen Martina before. I'm gonna ask Mike because Mike hasn't been one of these before. Any guesses? Melissa? Let's go. Everyone can chuck it in. What is it? I just put Adele on the spot because she's not watching. Shipping, email, and packaging.
No, like it's your logo, it's your
It's
thank you card.
all right. It's none of those. Cool. Let's go to the next slide.
Mike's on the
Oh, it's getting
Mike's getting
warm.
there.
It's getting
Mike's
there.
getting warm.
Do you know what it is, Chris Filato? I hope so.
I don't think I'm going to spoil it for everyone.
You don't want to spoil it. We're gonna need a spoiler alert. Okay. All right, Chris, go to the next
Yeah,
slide.
we'll put you out of your misery.
Here it is. So the three things. One is you need a store that converts, obviously, right? You need a story that connects with your visitors, and you need a digital strategy and a financial strategy that you can actually control. Now, we'll go a bit deeper on all of this. Obviously, most people are out there, they try and build a website, they go to Shopify and they click the free theme and they all end up with Turbo or Dawn or all the other junky themes. And they go, I've got a site now. And they go, but my conversion rate is 1%. And they go, your conversion rate is 1% because there's a homepage on your website, there's a collection page on your website, there's a product page, there's a cart, there's other pages, and there should actually be a whole bunch of different conversion elements on those pages that make your site convert better. So when I talk about elements, I'm talking about things such as, trust signal, social proof, like information about shipping, urgency, scarcity, whole bunch of other stuff, right? And because you have all of those things on your site's going to convert a hell of a lot better. And the reason you want to do this at the start is because, like Chris said before, when you start sending traffic to your website, if you've got a 2% conversion rate and you're doing, let's do some maths on this, right? So 2% conversion rate and you're getting 10 grand a month through that site from a revenue wise. And you've got the same amount of visitors. If you keep sending the same amount of traffic to that website, but you double your conversion rate, you double your revenue. Easy. But everyone gets this wrong when they go start running meta ads first and Google ads and everything else to a site that's still not built to convert. Now, next to this is you want to actually have a story that connects, right? So people come to your website and people buy from people and people buy from brands that they know, like, and trust, and they resonate with, okay? So what you want to do is on your homepage and in all of your marketing, you want to have a story that's compelling, engaging, persuasive. People go, oh, I'm in the right place. This is the brand for me. It doesn't feel like all the other brands on the internet that I could go and shop from now, and I'll just leave this website and go buy from somewhere else. And I can't stress this enough that in the space that all of you guys play in the family founded smaller brands, people want to know who's behind the brand. They want to know who started it, why you started it, why you're running this thing, what you're passionate about, why you're choosing the products that you're selling, right? You're not just a catalog on the internet going, hey, buy my crap, and there's no experience, there's no journey, there's no nothing, right? So those two things are absolutely critical. And lastly, once you've done all of this, you want to actually make sure you go and take your message and you go take all of the amazing stuff that you've done and build a really good digital strategy, right? So when that comes to like Google ads, SEO, content, everything else, you need all of these things aligning so that when the traffic comes to your website that's built to convert and that comes to your website and it's built to say the right thing, you sell a lot more stuff. Make sense so far? So, and I do like to give the analogy, and so it's usually it's 50-50 whether I get it right, but I'm like, at some point, most people were probably single or didn't have a partner and were out looking for the one, right? And I don't know about you ladies and you men on the call, but when I went out looking for the one, I made a pretty good effort to try and at least look okay. I was going to the gym, getting fit, blah, 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 looking good. I'm like, okay, looks wise, I'm kind of trying to convert here because I look better. And then when I went out, I spoke good, right? So when I met my amazing wife, I spoke good and I looked good and it converted. We're happily married with 2 kids and great businesses and da 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 da. But a lot of people will just go out there and they rock up in their Ugg boots and their trackies and they sound half drunk and they can't talk and they can't communicate and they don't convert. And they just go again and again and again and again and again. And they go, that's why you're miserable and lonely. That's why most people's e-com businesses are miserable and lonely, right? Because they haven't fixed those two things. Makes sense? Hope that relates to people. You want to add anything to that, Chris? You're the brand messaging guy. You can probably articulate it a bit more professionally than I can, than the don't go around drunk and looking ugly.
That's a fantastic analogy. I mean, as we said, these are the three things that we focus on because literally every single business we meet isn't performing at 100% in all three of these areas. And these are the three biggest levers you can pull in your business. And we recommend that you do them in a particular order, right? If your website's a hunk of junk, get the website converting first before you go and start running more ads or spending more money. And then once that's sorted out, now you need to connect to your customers better, right? Then this comes down to a proper brand strategy. What's your brand voice? Who is that ideal customer? What language do they speak? What are their problems? How do you help them? All of these things go into that customer buying from you for life and telling everybody they know about you. When you miss that connection piece, you miss that brand piece, you just become a commodity and you go into the Temu market and then you're competing on price, and that's a race to the bottom. Particularly brands at the size that most of you watching this are going to be. And for family-founded brands, this story piece, this brand connection piece, connecting to your customers and making the assumption that they are somewhat like you and telling your story about how you built the business, why you built the business, why it matters, what you're trying to do, the impact you're trying to have. All of these types of things makes what you do unique, and then nobody can compete with you. Even somebody next door that's selling the same product won't compete with your brand because you will attract buyers that like you and they're buying from you. They're not buying the product or just the product, right? Product is part of this, but brand goes beyond. Brand goes into emotional connection with humans, right? So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about brand. And then the strategy, as we said, this is the right things in the right order, the step-by-step playbook of here's the 1,000 things I could be doing, but here's the 3 that I need to do right now. I get those done. And then next 90 days, these are the next 3 things that I focus on. And that step-by-step order thing, I think that's a piece that a lot of, when you're just trying to figure this stuff out on your own, you get the order jumbled, you miss things, and that's probably why you are where you are, jumping on a call like this to try and figure this stuff out.
Yep. Awesome. All right, next one. Cool. So what we're going to do now, before we'll come back to this slide that Chris has got here, we're going to pick someone on the call or 2 or 3 people on the call, and we're actually going to show you the broken aspects of those 3 things on your site. So, all right, who do we want to go first with, Chris? Did you pick somebody? Otherwise, I'm going to pick someone. We'll do it again, even though we've done it before. Any volunteers? Victoria, are you keen to do this again? I always like that. You're on mute. You're on mute.
I was waiting for that when you said we'll do it again, and I was like, oh, yeah, you can do mine again. Go for it.
Drop your link in the chat again. I'll just give it to me again, just so I can remember.
Sure. Hang on one sec.
Adele's up next. Okay. I'm watching, yeah, Adele.
Adele's up next.
I'll do it even if she's not there.
She'll be wrapped.
She'll be wrapped. This is called the live caravan workshop tonight because it's all the caravan ladies.
Hang on one sec. All right.
I can just tell me if you want, and I'll just Google it.
No, there you go. Oh, hang on. It's through to the wrong one.
Cool.
Everyone. Yeah. No, I just defaulted to the wrong chat.
Oh, good. Got it. All right. 1 second. So share screen.
I've changed a couple of things.
Oh,
yeah.
All right. I'm going to turn my face. Someone's messaging me on Facebook flat out. All I can hear is ding, 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 ding. I'm like, oh my God. So, all right, here we go. Talk to me about the business a little bit. I mean, obviously it's quite obvious what you do now, which is fantastic. So we'll see how good we can do this, given we've already done it before. But how long have you been going? When did you start? Why did you start? You know, give us all the good stuff.
10 years. Been going 10 years. Started it with friends. Nothing really in this niche. Now I'm doing it on my own. Graphic designer based. Mm-hmm. So didn't really have the business background, but we did a lot more wholesale to begin with. And I didn't really push the retail website sort of end of it, and that's just evolved over time. So now I'm like, okay, let's get the website up to scratch.
Got it,
And
got
what got you into caravan tableware? Did you just love caravaning? Did you have a caravan? Where you just like you designed a cute caravan one day and went, I'll stick that on a plate. What's that? What
No,
was that
just a
journey?
just a suggestion and a niche that we found. To be honest, I do not caravan. I've caravan twice in my life.
Really?
Um,
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Right.
So it was just a
Very
niche.
interesting.
So I purely come from the design concept side of it,
Okay. Interesting. Right.
but it's done pretty well. So
That's
yeah,
that's good. So I mean, it's interesting when I meet people like yourself. You go, "Hey, I found a gap in the market and I served it with great products, and it's done really well." Versus a lot of
yeah,
people start ecom businesses because they're trying to solve a problem that they have, you know. So
mm.
this is a really good angle. So let's dig into it. I can see that you have changed this on your homepage. So let's just, I'll explain a few things so for people who are watching this later understand what Victoria has actually done since we last spoke. So do you remember what this said on your homepage previously? I kind of, was not nearly as good as this, right?
No, it was just adventure wear. We
Yeah.
just had adventure wear. Yep.
Adventure.
Yeah. So when we last did this, you landed on Victoria's site and it said adventure wear. And I'm like, well, that's cool, but you sell tableware and you sell travel mugs and you sell bags for camping adventures, right? So I said we should change that. So this is the first part in the brand messaging because this is called a H1 tag. And a H1 tag on a homepage is one of the most important things that Google looks for and ChatGPT and all these large language learning models look for when they're trying to understand what your site does so that people can actually go and find it in a search, right? So, and obviously, if I land on Victoria's site now, I go, I know exactly what she does. So she actually has actually nailed this. Whereas previously, the whole, adventure awaits thing is like, that doesn't make much sense, Then we've gone down into the H2 tag here. So we do dinner sets, the laundry bags, and we do exclusive designs. You've absolutely nailed it now compared to what it was previously.
Thank you. I did even have, I have to say I had to go in and do coding because by the time you choose the standard H1
Yeah.
and then you go, oh, I've got to be an H2 and it was so big and so much text. I went, right, how do I do this? So I got onto ChatGPT and I started doing some coding. So it was like, and it worked. So I was very happy.
Amazing. What I what I might do? I might do like a comparison search. So I will find a caravan tableware, and I'm going to show you why Victoria's is now good and why the competitors is not. So, second in Google, that's good. Let's go to a competitor and hope they don't see this and come along and go, oh, great, now we know how to do it too. But so you land on their website, Daisy Gray's, right? And again, we're talking about brand strategy. Earth, Jesus, changes so fast, you can't even see what it says. This one just says shop. What are the previous ones? This is going to give me an aneurysm. They're moving so quickly. Does anybody? So
Can't even see any text yet.
so as an example, right, I'm sitting here going, nice bowls. Other than that, I don't know anything about this brand. It doesn't say anything nice like Victoria's does, like, hey, caravan tableware, travel mugs, bags for happy campers. I'm sitting there and go, cool plate. What do I do now? So if I start scrolling down, high vibe, high quality kitchenware and travel essentials. Nobody's going on the internet searching for the word high vibe, high quality travel essentials. They are going on the internet searching for caravan tableware, travel mugs, and bags for happy camping adventures, because this makes you feel a certain way, right? This doesn't make you feel a certain way, right? Another example of this, if I go to, like we spoke about Chris and Sarah, and there is millions of toy stores on the internet. There's a lot of parents on this call, and you can go to Kmart, and you can go to Big W, and you can go to all of them, right? But you don't land on their website and read something like unleash your child's imagination at a toy store where every toy tells a tale. Every parent wants to read something like that. They don't want to read, hey, welcome to Kmart where we sell crap from China. I hope your kid likes it, which is basically what it is. And that's what you're doing when you're buying from China, right? Much like all of the brands we work with. So, but nailing this and all the other examples that we can show you is the first part of nailing your brand message. And then off the back of that, now that Victoria's done this, right? And this is a small, I want to preface this by saying she's only done a very basic version of this. When we do this properly, there is a monster Google sheet and there's like 200 questions and it goes really, really deep. But again, why we do it is because Now we take parts of this and we go and start doing ads, and we start doing emails, and we start doing everything else. And we start saying all this stuff in all those other channels. And people go, oh, that's great. I'm resonating what I'm hearing, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing. I'm going to go to the website and I'm going to buy stuff, right? But if you don't nail this, then you have a really fractured strategy across all those other channels. It never goes as good as it can go, right? It's the reason if you go to look at these guys' ads, they talk about this kind of stuff in their ads. You know, once Victoria gets going with us, she'll do the same thing, right? You know, really, really, really important. And Lockie's, you know, Lockie's our head media buyer in here for Meta Ads. He'll attest to this. You know, you nail it, it makes his job a million times easier. Otherwise, is like, I'm running an ad and the person in the ad didn't say any of this stuff, and now the ad's not working. How do we fix the problem? I go, say the stuff that's in the brand strategy in the ad and it'll crush it. You know, it's the bane of his existence when people don't do this properly. Now, as we scroll down a bit further throughout the website, you know, you've got part of your story here. That's great. We touched on that last week. And then if we start looking at like conversion rate elements and conversion rate things on the homepage, like if we have a look and maybe we'll go to your best sellers and we'll, again, like I'll do some side-by-side comparison, maybe against you and these guys, but here we go. Here's a product. So you've got a product name, you've got some social proof, not a lot of social proof, that's fine. There's still missing stuff on this page though, right? So from a conversion perspective, I have no idea when I'm going to get it. It says ships Australia wide every day from Melbourne, you know, 2 to 3 day delivery, whatever. You've got, what else is missing in here? You've got bookmarks. Yeah, like things such as, you know, hey, like we've only got 3 left in stock, order today or you'll miss out.
5 people have this in their cart.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff as well. We've sold 20 in the last 24 hours. Like all this kind of stuff we'll be adding would really, really help from a conversion perspective. Example, come over here, have a look, and I'll show you some good stuff here. Something to read. Let's have a look. Let's pick a, whatever this is. A fart book. Everybody needs that. So my internet has been a bit slow. So we'll do a side-by-side comparison. You know, hey, people are looking at the product. Here's the name. Here's a short description. Here's the vendor. It's in stock, ready to ship. Hey, we don't have many in stock. Do you want gift wrapping? There's a whole bunch of other stuff going on in this page as well that adds to why this site converts as good as it does. And it's the same with the collection page, right? So we do collection page for you versus maybe a collection page for these guys. So where is the collection page? God, this site is a bit of an interesting one. So like, let's have a look here. No, you know, like no social proof on here. So it doesn't say, hey, 27 people have ordered it. Like if we'll go to this collection page, you know, it's easy enough to order from here, but there's no description on the homepage. You know, there's not really an experience here. Same as if I go to yours and I go to, let's go to the laundry bags. And I mean, just for context, like Victoria's site is nice. Like she's done a great job, but there's always other things that could be, you know, added. Like you don't have a wish list. Something like a wish list on your site would crush it for you. Really important. You've got filtering options, that's fine. You've got sort by featured, best selling. Like your collection page is pretty good. As we go through the site, start adding it to the cart. What happens here? So that's good. You're using Upcart now by the looks of it. I think we mentioned that last week. Oh, you're just rolling out everything that we said. So cracker example.
I'm trying, Paul.
But so for people who are watching this though and going, oh, I don't have that. Like I don't have this option. You know, Victoria's a little bit of a step ahead of some of you guys. Like if we use this side as an example, and I go add to cart, and please don't ever use a purple add to cart button unless you're on a sex toy store. That's the only time you use purple add to cart buttons. See the difference.
Oh God.
Yeah, like never. Like you don't, you know, there's no upsells, there's no downsells, there's no urgency, there's no scarcity. So, I mean, I'm just riffing quickly on things that are missing, but for the purpose of going, hey, if you don't have the 100 things that should be on a homepage that we have on there, and the other 70 things on a collection page, and the other 100 things that go on a product page, and the other 100 things that go sit inside of your collection, your add to cart page, your site's never ever going to convert as good as it can. it's never going to have the highest average order value it can. People aren't going to give you their email address. They're just going to leave, right? So really, really important that you absolutely nail these things. Makes sense so far? Anyone have any questions about what I've covered?
Yeah. Can I ask a question, Paul?
Yeah, sure.
When you look at the Toy Box Tales product page that you had up before, what is the benefit of having the SKU number on? Like, I don't see the benefit of that for a retail customer who couldn't care less what the SKU number is. Do you know what I mean? That's a sort of technical back end. Is it a Google thing that they're reading, or like, what's the point?
Yeah. From a Google search, some people will search by SKU and they'll find it. So if your SKU is only unique to you, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. I mean, this is SKU stuff isn't really brand, it's more SEO. So say for example, your SKU said something along the lines of black-laundry bag, right? Because it puts the word on the homepage another time, you'll rank like a tiny bit higher in Google search. So if possible, do it, right? So it's just another, we could go down a bit of a rabbit hole here, but there's a thing called keyword density. So from an SEO perspective, the more time you have a certain keyword on your homepage, the higher you are to rank for it, So I recommend it. It's not a Crow thing, it's an SEO thing.
Yeah, okay. I did wonder if it was an SEO. Adele and I had spoken about it. We're sort of like, I don't see the benefit for a retailer to be looking at that information, especially above the fold. You talk about so much information above the fold, and
absolutely.
We thought it sort of took up a bit of space there to sort of, whether it was necessary or not.
I agree with that comment too. Like your reference here, so above the fold, I can't see the add to cart button. Like this is in the wrong location. This is in the wrong location. This is too big. This is in the wrong location. So this should be up higher. So you're on the right path there. Stuff's just in the wrong frame.
Order.
You don't read like this. When you read through a page, you go product, you go title, description, price, and there's a different order that you should be going through. And not all orders are the same. So I know you ladies are super smart and you'll just go, what's that other brand doing? We change it based on the brand because some people read a page differently based on the brand as well, right? Because they want to know different things as well, especially like if you sell, big heavy things, everyone's like, show me the shipping information as fast as possible. Versus if you show me something that is about like supplements or something, you've got to put stuff in a different order. People aren't going, I need to see the SKU at all, but I need to see that it's got heaps of reviews. So you go, in that case, we put it first. So there's different orders that you want to put things in based on how it's going to convert for you.
Okay, beautiful.
Makes sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you want to add anything to that, Chris, that we've missed?
No, I was just going to mention on the SKUs, some because when it's your own brand, it's not so significant, but someone like a toy box where they're reselling other products, some people will search by SKU, particularly in like electrical or like highly technical industries. The SKU can become relevant and people will Google search the SKU. So the SKU can be relevant for certain industries, and because they're reselling products, some people might look for them. And also if you're running wholesale, if you had wholesale, the SKU would become relevant as well. So there's a few reasons why you'd include the SKU there.
Yeah, that makes sense for wholesale. They're the only ones that would know the SKU, really. Retailers aren't going to know or care about it. So it makes sense for what you've said. Thank you.
Do you want to have a look at yours, Adele? I'm looking sitting there. It's good. It is good, but like so simple things, that you can't see your add to cart button. I would be bringing that up. You've got tons of social proof. I think for you just need to bridge a lot of the gaps in here. You've got like big gaps, big gaps, big gaps. You like people being able to see the add to cart button immediately is more important than like this or this. So again, you do so much well already, but it's a case of just moving some things around as well. I would probably even test this. Are people using this functionality a lot? They are, yeah. So
they're definitely adding the logbook to that sale, definitely. But the one thing that I can't work, like, it's the white space. I don't even like the white space either, and I need to reduce that. But that's a coding thing, isn't it?
Yeah. So I mean, somewhere in the theme that you're using or whatever, people have just put in excessive amount, and you can see it here. Like I can, I won't do it on the call, but you can see excessive amounts of spacing. Like see that there, and whatever that, all this padding, you can nuke all of that padding like quickly, and it'll bring everything up. Because the goal is, and I think I mentioned this, you got get rid of the sticky header, bring it all up, add the cart button as soon as you can see it. All people want to know is price, tons of reviews, product name, short description is in the wrong spot, should be here, right? It's again how they're reading it, because what you need to think about is someone goes to a product page, someone goes to a home page, collection page. You want their brain just to be going, yes, 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 yes. So they go product name, tons of reviews, price, shipping, order it. Done. What else do I want to order? You don't want any no's. You don't want to go like, oh, hang on, maybe I'll use Afterpay. Maybe I'll read this big lengthy description. Maybe I have to make these 4 other choices. Maybe I have to watch a video before I can do anything, and they get overwhelmed and confused and leave, right? It's the same as on the homepage, and I'll come back here and I go, great. So adventure awaits, unique gifts, caravan essentials. You go, yes, sounds good. From silly to seriously sounds good. Go here, 150,000 customers. Yes, for me, that's a massive tick. Something for everyone. Inclusion, great. We ship daily, great. Award-winning, great. You continue to read, something for everyone. I'm reading this. I'm like, yes. And then we start going into buy my best sellers. You go, great. So at no point whilst I read through your homepage did I get any no's or anything that I didn't like or anything that I go, I don't like her. I don't like the brand. I don't like the business. I'm like, tick, she's lovely. Right. So now that most people don't do that, you land on their homepage and it's like, hey, like my bowl. Right. And you go, not really feeling very motivated to scroll. And then if you do start scrolling, correct me if I'm wrong, but no one, and apologies to this lovely people that probably own this brand, no one's going to get excited about 100% compostable and plastic free. Probably the last thing you're thinking about. Microwave and dishwasher safe.
It's really interesting, Paul, because Daisy Grays is probably Tori's #1 competitor across the caravan space, and she pushes her dinnerware for caravans, yet there's nothing in that homepage bit that says caravan.
But yeah, like where's the photo of you? Oh, we were having a chat with this a brand about this yesterday, right? So amazing brand, something very special. Check it out later if you guys get a chance. Maddie and Annalise, is it Lucky? I think it's correct me if I'm wrong. Ainsley. I'm like, dude, you got a cracker brand, but you need to put your product photos in situations where the people are wearing your product. So like, for example, those two go to Bali a lot and they take, and they're like super cool, like cooler than all of me and Chris, obviously. But, you see them and they're like great photos of them in the Bali and the crew in the Bali. I'm like, where's the photos on your website with you guys at Bali wearing your stuff? Like there's photos of you in front of a wall or in front of a great background. It's the same with this brand. So again, as much as it's not a brand message, it's a visual brand message, right? So no one aspires to have this look, but people do aspire to have like this stuff sitting on their table whilst they're caravanning in front of the beach, right? So again, brand message, brand visual stuff, it all goes together. Makes sense? All right. We might do this for someone else on the call again. I do want to finish off this though. Like no one cares about this stuff, not, in my opinion. So like when people put Shecom awards on their website or stuff like that, no one cares about that stuff either. You want to put stuff where purchasers go, yes, 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 yes. Oh, lifetime warranty. Great. Trusted by 150,000 people. Great. If you don't love it, return it. Great. We give a portion of our income to a disability charity. Great. Like these are things that matter. Okay. Make sense?
Do we want to fast path one of these out and then show how this comes together and
let's do it.
Plan.
I will turn off screen share here. Hopefully this will work. Whiteboard existing. How are we going for time? I could be here till tomorrow. You like talking?
Another 10, 20 minutes.
Good luck. All right, let's go. Everybody good for a wine and, just in case, go grab one just so we can keep this going. All right. Who do we want to do this for here? I don't want to I won't do it for Daisy and Grace because that's going to make Victoria lose money. How do we want to do this? Let's do this for, we're going to do this for Jody, I reckon, from Hench. Before I get into this, let's just give a bit of context here. So we've already built Jody's website for her. I'll quickly share it. Hang on 1 second. I'm backpedaling now. So here's Hench. Here's what we do. But let's have a look. So hardworking sorry for hardworking Aussie men. From a branding perspective, sounds good. I'm a hardworking man. I don't move a lot, sit in this chair a lot, but I mean, that resonates with me. You know, powerful ingredients, rugged scents, no nonsense skincare. Looks good. From a conversion perspective, this site crushes because we built it, right? But let's try and do this fast path plan for Jody, and let's assume that maybe it wasn't as good as it is. So continue existing whiteboard. So, and jump in, Chris, if you like, to if you've got any input on the brand messaging. So strong.
It sets the right vibe. It speaks to a type of person. It's specific. It's everything you'd want in a brand.
I don't know that.
Perspective.
I don't know that strong soap for hardworking Aussie men though hits the mark. So it's good, but it's not amazing. So let's assume that it was way worse than it is, because it's not, because it is good and it's working. Yeah, your meta ads are working more. I think you mentioned to me the other day. So that's good. But again, this still needs work. So in terms of the fast path plan, we go here. Hang on, I'll make this a bit bolder so everyone can see it. So brand strategy, it's not quite there. So we need to do some work on your brand strategy to get it to 95%, 100%, so that when you go and do all of your ads and all your copy and everything else, it does actually work better. Now, from a conversion rate perspective, it's going to have a super quick look here. Given that we built your website, it's going to be probably already is pretty good. You've got up sales, you've got down sales, you've got the cart stuff. So there's a couple of little things that you want to do from a conversion rate perspective, because like we don't have a lot of social proof at the moment on the website. So again, you don't have huge problems, but you do have some things that you need to fix, right? So again, you're already running ads, you're already converting. What's your conversion rate at the moment, Jody? Do you know?
I think it's just over 4. I think it was like 4.1.
Okay. What was it before we built your website?
I didn't have a website before you built it.
Oh, there you go. 0 then. Hey.
I barely had a homepage set up.
Okay, good. All right. So conversion, 4% is great. Not everyone would be stoked. Thanks, Victoria. I'll see you later. So that's already really good, but I can still see some things that should be fixing. So either way, we fix this, right? Nothing major here. Now, you're already also running meta ads, which is good, and I think they're working. So once we nail your brand messaging stuff, we actually need to really get clear and make sure all of that stuff is going into your meta ads, because it's already converting at 4%, and you know, we get it double that, like 8%, you'll be on fire, right? So meta ads over here. The next step for you, excuse me, are you doing email or anything at the moment?
No, I haven't started any of that yet.
Okay, so your cost per acquisition cost, I would imagine, is, you know, like, what is it, $10, $15 or something to get a sale? What does that look like? Do you know, Lockie? Have you got access to
Yeah, it
the
was about $13.
$13. Okay, cool. So you have a problem at the moment. If people don't order from you on the first purchase, you've got to go, well, we need to be following all those people up, right? So email. So send them a abandoned cart flow, send them all these other flows. So picking up all the people that drop off out of that immediately, because once you do that, then you're just like, you know, you're spending all this money on ads and you're picking it up via those email sales. And then if I was you, you know, the next thing, and, you know, if we had more time, I'd get Mike to talk about this as well. But like a really, really solid email strategy of making every customer a repeat customer. Like most people are in the business of single purchases. So, hey, I sold something to someone and they never come back. That is the worst kind of e-commerce business that you can possibly have, right? Every customer needs to be a repeat customer for life. So whatever that looks like from an email perspective, super important. Again, as well, SEO campaigns, you need a content marketing strategy as well. So whatever you're saying in email, you're also saying in your blogging strategy. Whatever you're saying in your blogging strategy, you're also saying in your social strategy. So, you know, that's email, that's Insta, that's your blogging, blah, blah. Same thing, right? So for you, over the next, 6 months, these are the 5 or 6 things that you need to nail, and they're not hard to nail. And if you can really crack the code on email and you can crack the code on Meta, and then you can just like, this is already good. Like this business will blow up really, really quickly. I mean, blow up from a good perspective, right? Because you'll be able to go, yeah, every time we put in $100, we get in $500 back. It's profitable. And then that customer buys from us, whatever, once a month, every 2 months. Happy days. We've got a cracking business here. So makes sense.
Yep.
If I had more time, I'll do this for some other people as well. But the point of this is it's very repeatable. Everyone has to fix their brand strategy, which Jody kind of has done a great job. Victoria has done a good job since she came to our last session. Adele's done a good job. Now they're fixing how their website converts. Now they're fixing how their meta ads run. And then when they get sick of running meta ads, Lockie runs their meta ads because he's the best. And then they sort out your email. And then when you don't want to run your email, you hand it over to a pro like Mike and you go, great. And then you guys go sit at the beach, right? But this is how you build an e-commerce business. Any questions about this stuff? All right, cool. I'll park that there for now, Chris. You want to jump back to the other slide? I'm just like 6 o'clock already. So
Cool. If you want to stop your share, I'll reshare.
yeah, all good.
Beautiful. So while I'm bringing, I mean, and a lot of that we sort of started talking about the brand stuff, right? And all that messaging kind of comes out of that same sort of aspect, right? Like really understanding the audience and understanding the problems that they have. And that goes into your emails, that goes into the next product they need to buy. They buy the soap and they love it. Now they've got the problem, they need to buy it regularly. So now you've got a subscription model, right? All these sorts of things come out of really understanding the buyer, which is what we're talking about in a lot of these aspects.
Loading. Something's happening.
Something's happening.
We're frozen.
There we go.
Here we go. All right, cool. I'll get into that. So, I'm mindful that I'm trying to power through this for you guys that have been very patient. So, just super quickly. So here's some of the amazing results that we've had from people that we've worked with. Chris Vallado is going to chuck a link into the chat box. You can see some even better testimonials from people that are crushing it. A couple of our clients are like over in Athens at the moment. He's making so much money. He's like, my business is still, I'm back in July. And he's like, yeah, I still made my 50 grand for the month. And that's profit, by the way. So go to the next slide, Chris.
The same plan that you just mapped out is the same plan that we're using to get these kind of results for people inside the community.
Yep, lots of them as well. So hopefully this has been super helpful so far for those of you that are here and those of you that watch this later as well. You can see the principles that we use to help people make more orders. And you've seen a very, very, very quick example of like what Jody could do over the next 90, 100, 360 days to really get her business firing. So next slide. Cool. So now you've got two choices. On the left, you've got the orange. On the right, you've got the green. We'll go to the next one. So now orange, obviously you can continue to go and do it on your own. You can, like most people, they have a rough plan. They try and figure it out. They pray, they hope, they go to YouTube, they go to TikTok, they sit in the Shopify Australia group and they don't ever figure it out, unfortunately. Or option two is you can come and follow the proven path that we're now using this for so many brands. And exactly like I showed you already, we'll show you how to do this for your brand, basically. Now, again, here's some more testimonials, and I might throw over, hang on, Chris is like clicking around slides around. I'm trying to keep up with his clicking. So, all right, here's some more people saying nice things. I'm going to throw back to Chris in a minute. He's going to talk to you about what our Connect program is actually inside of the e-commerce circle. Over to you, Chris.
Yeah, so if you'd like to work with us, the quickest, fastest, easiest way is our Connect program, Connect by the Ecom Circle. So what is that? That is our community program that gives you access to our private Slack community, which some of the wonderful people on this call are already part of. This is where the 150 plus founders get to jam every day, one-to-many with our 20 plus expert coaches inside our private Slack channel. You can kind of see here we've got about 20 different channels for packaging, for meta, for job hiring, for events, for finance, for fitness, for content. Any question you have about e-commerce, this is the place where you drop questions and get those answered by our team, by our coaches. by our contractors, by people that are in the trenches doing this stuff every day. You also get access to our daily live calls, which run just like this call, live on Zoom with our 20+ coaches. We are currently running about 2 calls every single day of the week. They cover everything from conversion rate optimization to meta ads, email, Google ads, strategy, branding, finance, everything you need to run your business. We run a couple sessions a day. I think we've got about minimum 8 to 10 calls going on a week. And that's the place when you ask questions in the channel, you then jump on a live call and you say, hey, can you have a look at my meta ads account, Lockie? And Lockie will teach you about, like today we looked at dynamic product ads, and then we looked at a couple of accounts and we looked at how to set this stuff up. So these calls are very tactical, very practical. Jump on, ask questions, get things done live on calls with expert coaches. Super, super powerful for brands that are trying to figure out what to do. You also get access to our Essential Training Vault, and these are our 3 best-selling programs inside our eCommerce Circle Academy, hosted over on Kajabi. Yet Paul's wonderful conversion rate blueprint course, which will show you the 400+ things in a checklist style, step by step, all the inclusions you need to put on your product page, your home page, your collection page, your checkout page, to make sure that your site's converting as well as it can. You get to spend a few hours with me going through your brain communication playbook, which is the story pillar, right? And this is all about how to tell your story, how to choose your audience, how to make sure you're saying the right things to the right people so they feel the right things when they communicate with you. And you also get Lockie's Meta Ads Ecom Accelerator, which is the Getting Started with Meta Ads course that Lockie put together, which will help you boost and really get the sound fundamentals around meta ads running. And this is the place running these things that our members are getting proven results. You've seen the testimonials. We've got 10s, 20s, hundreds more of those. We've got hundreds of people inside this community getting results like this every day. So people join us at 0K a month, people join us at 20K a month, and they're moving up to those 30, 40, 50, 100, 500. We've got people doing $1 million a month at the highest levels in the community. So the real range, as we said, the principles we teach work at every level, just at sort of different levels. So that's what's inside the program. And when you connect, you're connecting with subject matter experts like this guy here and this guy here. Lockie, our meta ads, Sophie, our meta ads creative. We've got finance coaches, Google ads, branding, web, email, SEO, marketing, ad creative, everything you need coached by our 20+ and more. This team will continue to build. So if you're watching this down the line, there may be 30, 40, 50 different coaches in the community. This is an active community we're building to bring you the best people in Australia to help you do things and grow your business. These are people that are actually in the trenches, right? Running campaigns, running accounts, doing this for e-commerce people, right? Everybody we bring in are e-commerce specialists. These aren't people that have never seen an e-commerce site before. These are people that understand e-com, they understand the world, they understand how to grow specifically e-commerce businesses.
Can I add something just quickly to that? You just backtrack for a second. So, I mean, we pride ourselves on our coaches they're not kids, right? Like we're super experienced people who work with like really, really exceptional brands, even to the level that Shane, bottom left there next to my wife, Emma, he's one of the guys that helped came up with Movember, the campaign. The guy above him, Andy. Andy was CFO at a $7 billion a year company, like $7 billion, not $1 million, right? We've got Eden, who on the far left, he's worked with brands like Bondi Body and High Smile, and Lockie's worked with, tons and tons of brands as well, and runs all the ads for like most of the clients in the meta ads, Kate and everybody else, Mike, these are all really, really exceptionally good coaches, and we're just lovely people, right? They're in there to help you win. By the end of the year, our goal is to probably have 40 or 50 people like this in the community. Again, heavy hitters who get amazing results, here to cheer you on and here to help you win. Right. So that's, super important. Obviously, Chris has done a couple of things as well. Like he's in there helping you guys out, but, so we pride ourselves on the community that we've got and the coaches that we've got to coach you guys too. So, all right, Chris, sorry, go back to this one. Yeah.
Yeah. So who's in Connect, right? Who is this a good fit for? This is a program for store owners that are coachable, We really like people in here that will listen, take action. If you're suggested that you do something, that you go and do it, that you try it, you get the help, you raise your hand, that you're super coachable. That's who this program is for. Obviously, this is for founders who sell quality products, not stuff that's going to end up in the bin. We love working with family founded business. So this is husbands and wives, best friends, mother and daughters, solopreneurs who have families working from home, who have the dogs and the kids and the cats and the chaos in the background on the Zoom calls, or they're driving to and from the warehouse on the calls. This is the type of people we work with, people who run businesses and have life going on, right? So if you're on a call and you kids in the background, that's fine. Paul's kids are probably about to pop in any second.
They're banging on the door.
We also like to work with those who show up, ask questions, contribute. So if you're the type of person that wants to just sit in a community and absorb, that's great. But we love people that are willing to jump on calls, contribute, ask good questions, help other members out. And ultimately, this is for anyone who wants to grow an e-commerce business. And like we've said so many times, you just don't know that next step and you need the right support. You need someone to guide you and say, do this thing next, do this thing now, and this is how you do it. And you can jump on 4 calls a week and get instructed and get specific advice for you, for your type of business, on how to get this stuff done. This could probably be $1,000 a month program, but
should be
all of this.
Should be other people out there that charge $1,000 and it's not as good as this. So
absolutely. So you get the live coaching calls every weekday, 8 to 10 calls a week. You get private access to the Slack community with 150 plus and growing other founders to network with, to connect with, to chat, to share business with. You get the Essential Training Vault with the Crow brand and meta courses. You get daily access to the 20 plus expert coaches who you can DM, who you can get expert advice from. And you start to get the proven results that we've shown you throughout this call, all for the low fee of $97 a month. Pretty insane. For less than $100 a month, you get access to all of this and get to be able to start to grow your business. As a special bonus for anyone that signs up now and joins the Connect program off the back of this call, off the back of watching this video, you will also get a complimentary Fast Path Plan session with one of our team one-to-one, where we will do the Fast Path Plan. Say that 10 times fast. That we just watched Paul map out for the brands on this call. You'll get a one-to-one session with one of our coaches, with one of our team, who will do this for you, for your business. So that once you're in the program, once you're connecting, once you're going to the right calls, you're going through the training, you'll know the next 3, 4, 5 things for you to do specifically for you to grow your business. All of that for the low fee, the very, very expensive fee of $97 a month. This thing is going gangbusters. We don't know how long we'll have it open at $97 a month, but the reason it's such a low price is we want as many people as possible to get access to these resources. We want people to get access to these coaches. We don't want people hanging around trying to figure out themselves, hanging out in free groups, going to YouTube, getting confused, getting overwhelmed. We want a place where you can come, get real, practical, from the trenches advice that's actually going to help you grow your business. Anything else to add there, Paul?
No, just agree 100% with what you said. You know, it's so easy to sit on the free channels and absorb all the free information, and half of the time, or probably more of the time, is half of that information or all of that information is wrong, right? So, which is why we did this, which is why we've, as kind of, you know, like, it's our, you know, we're building we want to build the biggest community in Australia with this thing, right? So, but at one point, you know, when I started my e-commerce businesses, you know, I wish something like this existed. That's hence why we've made this, because, you know, there's been a need for this thing globally, but we'll just take over Australia first for a very, very, very long time. And so hence we've made it affordable for everybody. You know, obviously there's other things that we can sell people once they get in there, and you can go faster and you can buy different services and stuff off us. But, you know, this is where everyone should start. This is where everyone should, like, get some massive quick wins as fast as possible, hang around an amazing community, make some amazing friends, get really clear on what you need to do, and, you know, and know what you need to do over the next couple of years. So again, for those of you that have sat with us tonight, really appreciate you guys being here. For those of you that watch the replay, there'll be a link somewhere, hit the button. If you have any questions about anything that we've not covered tonight, or you're confused and not quite ready to sign up, drop us an email. We'll help you out. But again, really appreciate everybody's time. Amazing job from our team, doing what they did tonight as well. I look forward to seeing all of you inside the circle, and look forward to seeing all of you winning and building amazing ecom businesses. So, all right, guys, I will catch you all soon. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.